They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but it turns out they may need to revise that to hell hath no fury like a trans woman scorned, a man who identifies as a woman. So according to a new article from the BBC, and I've seen this a lot on social media, by the way, more and more stories of lesbians being harassed by men who identify as women because they want to have romantical times with them physically are emerging. Now, I know all these newfangled ideas about sex and gender gets super confusing, so I'll be clear as to what the BBC is saying. Lesbian women are being harassed to have sex by men who identify as women. And it seems that that's nothing new under the sun after all. It's what I call the progressive patriarchy. So we've exchanged one patriarchy for the same patriarchy, but it thinks because it can identify as a woman that it's different. But it's still the same old issue. Biological males pressuring biological females into intercourse. And only now, these biological males are wearing dresses. Now, according to the piece, many lesbians say that no matter what a man might call himself, at the end of the day, they're not interested in a dude with a penis, because that's what dudes have, okay? They don't care if the dude with a penis is wearing a dress and has some lipstick, he's still a dude and he has a penis. From the BBC article. I can't believe we have to just baby step this. Quote, several people got in touch with me to say there was a huge problem for lesbians, the article says, who were being pressured to accept the idea that a penis can still be a female sex organ. They say that lesbians are still extremely scared to speak because they won't be believed and because the trans ideology is so silencing everywhere, end quote. So that's why I said, hell hath no fury like a man who identifies as a woman scorned. Perhaps no letter in the alphabet gender soup of the LGBTQA, BBQ, I don't know, is more radical apparently than the T. I'll have to tell you something. The most misogyny I've ever experienced has been from men who identify as women. For real. You cross that trans community and as Dave Chappelle knows, they'll come after you. And they're very serious about you accepting every last bit of what they believe is their gender, which some people think is gender dysphoria. If a biological man says that they're a woman, they expect you to just ignore their penis. There's like a new phrase in there, the elephant in the room. Yeah, that's oh boy. Not all men who are identifying as women have transitioned or even intend to, by the way. And if you don't want to sleep with them, stuff like this happens. From the BBC article, quote, another woman reported a trans woman, a man identifying as a woman, physically forcing her to have sex after they went on a date. They threatened to out me as a TERF and risk my job if I refused to sleep with them. I was too young to argue and had been brainwashed by queer theory, so they were a woman even if every fiber of my being was screaming throughout, so I agreed to go home with them. They used physical force when I changed my mind upon seeing their penis and they raped me, end quote. Now remember, a TERF is a sexual slur used by patriarchal misogynists, and it stands for trans exclusionary radical feminists. So in English, it's a woman who believes that women are real and that vaginas are real and that the gender binary is real and that biological women and all of that, all real. And believing in that reality that there are two distinct genders and only two distinct genders, male and female, is apparently just absolutely unacceptable for radical activists. You say that and they will slur you misogynistically as a TERF. And the radicals in the very, very, very aggressive trans community will hate you for it. So boil it down for you. It's men presenting themselves as women who want to sleep with women who aren't interested in them. I thought no meant no, right? Or does it not mean no now? Just because you wear lipstick doesn't mean no? And just goes to show how this new gender fluid sexual revolution could care less about women. This is exactly, by the way, what I'm talking about when I say protections from women being eroded. Because it's steamrolling women. Men that believe that they are women, they want women's sports. Women created their own leagues. We went out and created our own leagues, our own sports clubs, everything else. But now men are wanting to take that over. Why can't men who identify as women just create their own leagues like women did? Men that believe that they are women are breaking the glass ceiling rather than actual women. And they're taking spots that have always been, the first woman 4-star admiral, it's a man. And now some men believe that there are women and they're demanding that lesbian women sleep with them. And then they say that it's the lesbian women's bigotry that is if the lesbian women don't want to. These men that believe they're women, they start shaming those women and calling them names, bullying them. It's the new progressive patriarchy. Not really new, but ironically erasing whatever gains women have actually made, all to promote men's rights at the expense of women's.